Are we doing this? Okay, we're actually doing this. What's going on, everybody? My name is Chris, and you are listening to the Underground Ministry Podcast, where new and different ideas are both accepted and encouraged. I am not going to use anybody's particular name because it's not the point of what I want to say tonight. But there was a man who was tried by a jury of his peers, had, for all intents and purposes, a fair trial in the jurisdiction he was convicted in. He then goes in front of a bunch of people afterwards and claims that the trial was rigged, and goes on to claim that the system is rigged. And I will say that for once, I'm in agreement with this man. Yes, the system is rigged, but it didn't just become rigged yesterday. Many of this man's followers also have been perpetuating over the course of the last 48 or so hours that the justice system as it's presently constructed is rigged. And again, I would agree with them, but it did not just become rigged yesterday. The fact of the matter is that the justice system has been rigged against those who are poor, oppressed, and people of color in the United States for many, many years. This is not a new concept because of the trial and verdict of that trial that happened yesterday. This has been going on for at least 400 years, if not longer in other places, because the fact of the matter is that people who are white and rich generally get away with more than people who are black and poor. That is just the reality of the world we live in. You could say that we try as best we can to make sure that's not the case today, more so than we used to, and I would say you're probably correct. However, the fact of the matter is that currently, the most current statistics that we have is that 50% of our incarcerated population are made up of black males. Black males only make up 10% of the general population. So there's something wrong, because I don't believe that black males are just that much more likely to break the law than any other population of people. I don't believe that. I just call it personal experience, call it whatever. I just don't think that they're that much more likely to break the law than other types of people. The reality is that the system is rigged, but it is not rigged in the way that people believe it is because of what happened yesterday. Like I said, this is not a new problem. And if you'd like to read up on, so this is a conversation we can start, right? If we want to say, okay, justice system is rigged, let's dig into that. I have some literature here, a stack of books here that you can begin your reading with, and many others. This is just what I have in my personal collection of things, and this is what I was able to pull off my shelf. I've rearranged my shelf recently. I was able to pull this stack of books off my shelf. Is a good place to start if you want to learn something about how our justice system is rigged. There's a chapter in a book I just purchased from not from a friend, but by the recommendation of a friend, This Here Flesh by Cole Arthur Riley. There's a whole chapter in here regarding justice that talks about how the justice system is rigged against certain types of people. Reconstructing the Gospel, Finding Freedom from Slaveholder Religion, has multiple instances and examples and theories about the way the justice system is rigged. God of the Oppressed by James Cone and Other Things by James Cone. James Cone is a very well thought of liberation theologian who you can read after and learn a little something about how the justice system is rigged. Jermaine J. Marshall, Christianity Corrupted, again, has many examples and theories of how and why the justice system is rigged. Rethinking Life by Shane Claiborne, I recommend to anybody. Again, has a whole chapter in here about the justice system and how it is rigged against certain types of people. And John M. Perkins, Let Justice Roll Down, about how the justice system is rigged against certain types of people. So if we want to talk about how the justice system is rigged, we can have that conversation. But let's just make sure we all understand that it did not just start yesterday. This is an ongoing problem that has affected the lives of many, many people in very real and tangible ways. We wonder about, kids who grow up without their fathers, and how that affects their development and so on and so forth. And we have these issues, right? Because we so desperately, as I talked about last week, we talked about Harrison Butker talking about family and the importance of, having a structured family with a mother and a father and so on and so forth. And if that's something that we want, let's stop incarcerating the black fathers at a higher rate than any other type of person in America. Let's let the justice system not be rigged against certain types of people in this way. And this is not a theory. This is not something that I'm making up. If you want to look at any kind of statistics on incarceration or even death row, there's a higher percentage. I don't have the percentage in front of me, but there's a higher percentage of black males on death row than any other type of person. This is not a new, the justice system being rigged is not a new problem, but it's certainly not rigged against rich white males. That's for dang sure. I promise you, that the trial that, this person got yesterday was as fair as could possibly be. And again, it's hard because it's like, we know that there are problems with our judicial system. I can't say for sure that everything that happened in that trial was absolutely positively perfect, because we know we have an imperfect system. However, as far as people getting the short end of the stick, this was not in any case one of them. Say nothing of the victim of sexual abuse that had to endure telling her story and letting everybody else hear their story and know about what happened for the last few weeks. But we so often forget the victim in these cases. And of course, because the victim is supposedly, because of her job or previous job, susceptible to promiscuity, I guess, that it doesn't matter that she was assaulted. And so, but again, because oftentimes women are not given fair treatment in these sorts of situations. And so, because they're not believed at the same rate as men are, especially white men, especially rich white men. And so, yes, the justice system is indeed rigged, but not in the way that you think, not in the way that anybody who is screaming that starting yesterday thinks. I have talked about it on this podcast before. I will continue to, I'm sure, especially when issues of it are brought up. But this is not the day, and yesterday was not the day that the justice system began being rigged. We have a long history of the justice system being rigged against certain types of people. And again, it's not rich white males. That was pretty short. That's all I've got for today. Listen, I just want everybody to know, and up to and including the people who we like. I don't ever want to dehumanize anybody, right? These are people's experiences, these people's lives that are happening right in front of us, and I want everybody to know that I love them and God loves them too. Thanks for letting me share. Peace.